Hey guys, so we're doing a 2 litre Transit Eco Blue. Seized injector is normal on these. Got this great tool, it's helping me get it out. I'll show you guys quickly how it works, but got it set up in here. It's a bit hard to see, but you know, it clamps around the injector. I'll show you how it works. I'll even take it, once I've got it out, I'll take it apart, show you how it goes together, sort of thing. Nice and simple. I'll see you right in a second. So as you can see, I've got it going, but with this you can literally just wind it. There is a max torque, but it'd have to be horrifically seized for you to hit that max torque. But as you can see, just winding it up, and that's just pulling this injector up, nice and easy. I'll show you what it looks like when I get it out. So here you go guys, you can see just how much rust and everything was on this injector, and this is why these can be so difficult to get out. One thing you've got to make sure when you're trying to pull them out is, as you can see, there's a copper washer on the end. You need to make sure that comes out, because the last thing you want to do is accidentally leave that in and put a nice shiny new injector with a new copper washer in, and then basically you've double spaced it and you'll have loads of problems. You'll end up getting but you'll have diesel coming up past your injector because it won't seal properly, won't run properly, and it won't even clamp down properly. So now we're going to go back to the van. We're going to clean out the port, get it all nice and shiny, make sure everything's nice and clean, dry, because you've got to make the most important thing is to make sure your bolt hole there is nice, clean and bone dry inside, so otherwise you could hydrolock it and strip the threads out. So I'm going to get this cleaned out and I'll be right back. Thought I'd just quickly show you the kit I like to use to clean out these bores. So you got a few different ones. You got some brass ones, some plastic ones, and some more sort of steel ones, and I like to try and use the brass and the plastic so they're not too abrasive on there, but abrasive enough that you can get everything out. I don't use a screwdriver, I do put it on my drill, which they're not really designed for, but they do the job pretty damn well. So here we go guys, we're getting pretty clean down in the bore, but my next bit to do is the bolt just to the right of it there. I'll quickly show you the bolt that came out. So here we go, this is the bolt that came out, and it is pretty grotty, so you don't want to be trying to thread a new bolt into that. So with that little tool that I showed you earlier, I'm going to use the smallest one and run that up and down in through the threads a few times just to get the worst of it out, and then I'm going to probably clean up the old bolt really nice and just run that up and down a few times, blow it out, get it nice and clean, and then you'll get a good torque reading from it, and you'll also have peace of mind that you're not going to hydrolock or anything the bolt and end up with bigger problems. So here we go guys, this is just the old bolt. All I've done is just clean up the threads, and now I'm just going to run that up and down that thread, probably mainly by hand, and just every time I've run it up and down a couple of times I'll take it out, blow it out, and just do that a few times. Remember, you're not reusing this bolt because these are meant to be single use bolts, because they stretch with the torque that you apply to them. So if you reuse it, you could end up either possibly damaging the thread or it could snap. But the other issue is that it's already stretched, so it technically wouldn't give you a correct torque figure when you go to torque it down. So I'll come back once I clean out these threads, and I'll show you some other tricks to do when installing your new injector. So here we go guys, a few little tips right for when you're putting in your new injector. So as you see, this new injector comes with a new washer. They do not come with a clamp or a bolt. You have to get that from Ford, but they are seriously cheap, so I wouldn't worry about that. So a couple of pointers: you need to get the number off the top, 7-digit number. You need that to be able to, that's the coding value for this as such in layman's term. That's what you'll need to program into the ECU to get it to run properly or at all with this injector. Another thing, Ford recommend you put a very light covering of grease, and they do sell grease for injectors, but it has to be very light, and basically that will help stop it corroding in the future and getting seized in as bad. Other than that guys, like I say, I've cleaned out my ports, and they're all looking not too bad. And then yeah, so we're going to get this in, and then I'll come back and once I've got this in and torqued down, and we'll go from there. Another quick little tip for you guys is, before you, so I've only finger tight done the clamp down there, and then I've put on the fuel pipe on both ends, just so then it means that I'm not struggling when the bolt's tight, because this injector does have it's hard to see, but it has a slight bit of movement even with the clamp on, you see, and you know, being that tiny bit off can make it a bit of a pain just to get that pipe on. So I put the pipe on before I do it down nice and tight, which means I'm not struggling later on. So yeah, I'll come back with any more hints and tricks in a moment. So guys, I've got this all torqued up now. I'm going to go program it, get it all back together, then program it, and then see how she runs. Now if you need your injectors doing, or make sure you hit us up, Milner Mechanical Repairs. We're mobile, as long as you're not too far we will come to you and we'll get it done for you, keep you on the road, and let's get it guys. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Cheers.